Hello, my name is Alexander Morari, and I'm the founder of ITKeyMedia. You've tuned in to our podcast about Central and Eastern European startups that are in pre-Series A stage. And our guest today is Gediminas Vilčiauskas, the co-founder of NoCV startup from Lithuania. NoCV is a recruitment platform and app that simplifies job search, selection, and employment process for employers and potential candidates, applicants as well, of course. Labas rytas, Gediminas.
Good afternoon, labas vakaras.
Oh, labas vakaras, yes. Basically, I understand Lithuanian is a very simple language. Any word you end with an S, including name, and you're home.
Yeah, almost right, almost up to the point, yeah.
Gediminas. So you say NoCV. NoCV is the name of the company, which is right to the point, and you decided not to use any hyperboles or like love marks and so on, like Apple for computers. Just go right at it. NoCV. Why NoCV, and what's the company is growing and developing, of course. And this is how we jump into the first round right away. Round one solution.
Yeah. Okay. NoCV is very simple to understand. There is no CV, and our solution is based on simplification. So it's pretty much clear why our brand is so simple.
Of course, you will need to follow up or to expand on that. Okay. Now, would you call yourself more of a job board, or more of a recruitment company helping employers? Because I know for a fact that, and probably everybody will agree, that as far as global or regional job boards and online platforms where you publish for money your job ads and then try to get applications that are relevant and useful, you probably more often are disappointed rather than happy with this service. I'm using these services myself as well, and I'm wondering whether or not these services, job board services, are more of a PR rather than a tool to resolve a specific business problem.
Well, usually job boards they are based on CV principle. This is the problem actually, and it's interesting that a CEO of the biggest job board worldwide, it's called Indeed.com. The CEO said that if the world wants to solve the lack of labor, the world has to get rid of resumes. So, I mean, the job boards, they are based on CVs and on resumes. So if you want to get it move quickly and fast and easy, and very important, not boring, because CV is boring for both parties, for candidate to write and for recruiter to read. So if you want to solve this, you need to get rid of resumes. So this is our idea.
Okay. For some positions, it's easier to just create an algorithm where you match requirements to specific skills. For example, in IT, and there are a couple of solutions where there's no CV and you just fill a form, and then the results of your form get matched to the requirements from an employer. And yeah, that's easy. But some positions are probably requiring a little bit more, should I say, imagination, maybe, like not that mathematically easily resolved mathematically, and as a result of an algorithm. For one thing, marketing roles. How would you resolve a recruitment process without CV for a marketing role then?
Yeah, Alex, you are very right. We're targeting mid and low positions down to blue collar positions, where this problem is very acute. I mean, those simple people, they just do not know how to write a CV. But still, this is in two parts in our system. So in the second part, we let companies build up the assessment questionnaire. So companies are asking those questions, which are usually asked during the interview, and basically you can ask anything, very much detailed, down to marketing positions. You can ask, do you have Google Analytics certificate? How many years you've been working in digital marketing? Do you have this and that? Have you been working in this kind of projects and that? So basically you ask what you want to know, and this is very trivial for the recruiter to ask, but the thing is that our system lets it to do in the very beginning. not at the final stage to ask those questions, but at the very beginning you are asking what you want to know. So this is how we get the information out of the candidate, not CV based, but still it's automatic.
Yeah. Okay. So, and I understand it's all based on self-evaluation of the candidates and applicants, right? So there's a scale of one to 5, 1 to 10, whatever. And so for example, you are Python coder, and then how experienced are you? I mean, how advanced are you in Python-based like coding and so on? And then you self-evaluate, or I understand you also follow up with a test, with a technical test, or is it just scaling your own?
Our system functionality is a bit wider. You're right. We're testing on the matching principle, on the level of the skills, but also there is an opportunity to provide a homework exercise for candidates. For example, if you do some Java programming search, you can insert some sample code and ask candidates to finish it, meaning that you can test the knowledge level, the true knowledge level of those candidates.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Or a different opportunity is to direct the candidates, forward them to some assessment tests, because there are a number of assessment tests and companies using this and that, and the company can put URL link in our system, and the candidates get to that test, finishing it and getting back to the system. So it's, we kind of aggregator of different practices at the same time, algorithm matching system.
And especially for lower level positions and roles, including blue collar, I understand that this helps avoid communication problems. Some people can write CV, some people cannot, and some people are helped with advanced, I don't know, advisors or platforms online. Very often people would do CVs based like as a picture, that is completely horror for nightmare for recruiters, definitely. Okay, and so I understand the approach here is you're trying to save recruiters or hiring managers time by adding, giving them a pre-selection tool so that they do not focus on deciphering a CV, but basically there's a naturally resulting. This process is naturally resulting in a ranking of candidates, right? Where you have averages, and so for example, this 4.9, 1 to 5 scale, 4.9 would attract more and quicker attention of the hiring manager than somebody who is obviously off the target, having 2.5 or something, right? Okay,
absolutely, cool. Absolutely. So basically, we have a lot of success stories when a company hires 2 or 3 people from the top of the list, meaning that the recruiter is reviewing from the top because the best candidates are on the top. And if, for example, you have 50 candidates, but you need to review two or 3 of them, so you do not need to review 47 rest, the others. So you spend a lot of time, actually.
Yeah. Gediminas, and I see the problem or the hurdle here is how to motivate applicants to fill all those forms. Do you have any issues with that? Because that's usually what we have. I have in one of the companies, sometimes we introduce these questionnaires or Google Forms, and we have had experiences even for head of legal. Head of legal, imagine we would do a couple of self-evaluating kind of questions, and so we would operate internally with 4.9 literally, and we would educate our clients as well, saying that we will send you only a couple of 4.9s and one 4.8. But the problem is, but the problem is how to motivate candidates to actually fill those forms.
So the flow actually in our system is that the candidate sees the matching offers. So this is the first step that you see on the app, the matching offers.
And based on their profiles on your platform, right? Because if as soon as I join your platform, like LinkedIn or something, I provide some key details about my experience, and yes, okay.
Of course. So you see the matching offers, so you can read about the offer, you can read about the company. We encourage a lot the companies to write not only the business activity, but why they are attractive to the candidate. So employer branding is very much encouraged. and of course salary, social benefits, soft benefits, etc. And the candidate can apply to 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 job offers, and then only then the questionnaire, and the questionnaire is limited to 20 questions. So it's kind of, you know, very fast, very easy way, and it's much simpler than to write a CV, you know, but it's much interesting. It's not so boring.
Okay, interesting.
So we split, you know, we kind of split the process to smaller steps for it to be not so long, and each of those steps, it takes just a couple of minutes. So it in terms the candidate achieves something after each step and go forward. So it's just basically 3 steps to be accomplished. Very simple.
Oh, okay. And so hiring managers then are free to be creative, but within the limits that you set on them. Like you said, what, 20 questions maximum? That's interesting. Never heard of that. Okay. Now, then there's another hurdle, I think. So candidates, okay, more or less, I understand how you motivate them, because there's already a pre-selection, and they do not start each recruitment from the very beginning browsing the platform for like job ads and so on, because the system, as soon as there's a new set of job ads, I understand, system matches and already pings them for new relevant opportunities. Okay, clear. Now, how then do you motivate your hiring managers to provide the system of the platform with all these forms? And like this is very often intellectually pretty demanding effort, time-wise or otherwise, right? Do you help them? What do I mean? Do you help them? Do you have your own experts, and you're selling these packages to employers by actually saying that we have experts who can help you build those forms, questionnaires, and then having in mind that you have this snowballing effect, and the more you create those forms, the more fluent you are, and the more templates you have, you know, and so on and so on. Is this part of the game as well, or you just give it as a tool and they create forms for their own specific context?
Yeah, it's kind of very new approach. So we have dedicated support managers. We assign a dedicated support manager to each of the company. This is first thing to educate, you know, because it's a new thing. And then basically it is how you say, we help to build 1, 2 job ads. And then it's very simple to duplicate the information, and it can go on their own. They can go on their own. It's very simple system, very user friendly.
And so I can guess only that employers have it easy when from one form to another form for different positions there is some overlap. For example, culture related or character related. Okay, interesting.
And the good thing, actually, we do some metrics on that. We have above 800 clients so far, and basically none of these clients has asked for training, but this is not because we assigned a support specialist, but this is why this is because our system, it's so having good UX and UI solution. We worked on that more than 1 year before releasing it, and to be honest, I would say it's probably the best designed system regarding, you know, managing the candidates pipeline.
Yeah, as every father praising their kids, you're very objective in your self-evaluation, and I sure believe you and trust you're 100% objective there. So you said again 800 clients right now. What are your financial results by now? I mean, business wise, what's the MRR if it's not too early yet, and at least a range if you could.
Of course it's jumping up and down, but basically I would say it's about 10k euro per month.
Say it again. 10,000 euros per month.
Yeah, 10k euros per month. And of course, we are looking at the churn rates and retention and how to keep those customers, and because, you know, it's not that easy, big competition on the market, and but a lot of attention from the market, a lot of attention.
Okay, currently you are present in what jurisdictions? So Lithuania, probably Baltic countries as well, right?
We have paying customers in Lithuania, Latvia, and Denmark.
And Denmark, okay, interesting. Okay, now Lithuania, Latvia, I understand more or less similar markets, or at least you know what you can expect in Latvia. Comparing these two markets, let's call them your home countries, home markets, comparing this to Denmark, what are the most striking differences in employee and employer interaction with the platform? Or is it the same?
Comparing Baltics to Denmark?
Yeah.
Basically, I would say the recruitment processes are exactly the same in Denmark and Baltics.
Okay. Okay. And
The
this, I
offers are
understand, this.
different, of course. The offers are different in terms of the offering, you know, the salary range or soft benefits, but in principle, the recruitment process is very much the same.
Why I'm asking is probably this is positive sign for you in terms of expansion further in Europe or beyond. I mean, in all those countries and beyond, right? Would you say you're ready for scaling up now?
Actually, I have an interesting story about Vietnam.
Vietnam.
We tested our platform in Vietnam. And the situation was that one of our customers whom we provided candidates in Lithuania, they were opening office in Vietnam, in Ho Chi Minh City. And they approached us and asked, could we help them in the search? And we took the risks and we started it. And in 2 weeks, with no market presence at all in Vietnam, in Ho Chi Minh City, we generated about 20-25 candidates just for a couple €100 budget, advertising on social networks, our app, and attracting the candidates. So we were surprised that, you know, Asia, Vietnam, but still we are happy that no CV concept is understandable even in Vietnam. That people got idea that this is no resume, no CV based tool. So regarding Europe, I don't see any problem at all in terms of scaling.
As far as the interface,
funding probably is the biggest.
Yeah. Interface in Vietnam was English, I understand.
English. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Because
just to make sure,
language position, so sales manager knowing English language, so there was no issue on that.
So do I understand correctly? If your interface is entirely English and that's enough to expand, then
no. Sorry, Alex. We are multilingual. We support a number of languages, and I think this is the unique selling proposition on the market, because I don't know any other HR tech platform which is multilingual as we are. For the Vietnam, it just was English. You know, it was fast, and we didn't translate it, but we going multilingual and localized. This is our I think this is our strong point in our strategy, go to market strategy.
Yeah. And your translation of your interfaces in different languages is based on some strategy, or it's opportunistic, you'd say? And in what languages do you have now the app?
We have Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Finnish, Swedish, Denmark, German, Polish, Swedish, and that's it. Yeah. So basically, it's Central Europe, Baltics, and some Western countries, and English, of course. Yeah, Russian. Yeah.
And Russian. Okay. Now, so take me through your expansion or go-to-market kind of period with Denmark. How did you expand to Denmark? Again, based on some experience and business relations with somebody in the Baltics, or it's completely greenfield?
Well, it's from our network. Basically, our fund, venture capital fund 70 Ventures, is run by Danishmen, and this is how it started. And then we were lucky to be selected as a finalist to a HR Tech Challenge in Copenhagen City. It was for a job center in Copenhagen City. There was 5 companies selected, and we were lucky to be one of them. And this is how it started, And
yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like it seems that the barriers for you to enter a new market are pretty low. It seems. I understand all the backend is managed by you in the headquarters, I guess. And so to adapt your platform for a new language is pretty easy. And you mentioned already a couple of measures, several languages that are enough basically to focus on expansion. What makes it so difficult for you? And it's a bit of a provocative question, but anyways, so it seems to me from the outside that your expansion should be pretty easy, and it's regular marketing, sales, B2B sales services kind of approach. And this game is not that difficult if you give discounts, if you give even, like free pilots with the big accounts that can give you more content, more job ads and interaction on job ads. Like why your expansion is not as developed, let's say, as I could probably imagine by now.
Good question. Actually, we are just 1 year old, and we didn't do any expansion up till last year, October. So basically, like 4 months ago, we started to think how we do that. And this was because, we started with MVP in Lithuanian market. And of course, we got a lot of feedback from the market that we need to fix this and that. And there was no point. There was really no rational point to go out.
Okay.
So we improved, we fixed some things, we improved, we canceled some things, and at some point you feel that you can go out your country, out your market, but then comes different challenges, because for example Sweden or Denmark, they are different currency. So we build our system on euros, so we need to change then to different currencies. And as you go step by step, you build up your product step by step. It's not like an explosion. But still, it just in 1 year, paying customers from 3 countries, I think it's just fine. And of course, Nordics is our target: Sweden, Finland, and Norway. And then after Nordics, we want to approach big markets like Germany and Austria. We will go to Germany and Austria. This is our plan, because every startup has a plan to go to big markets. If there is no big market in the plan, something is wrong. Yeah. So, but we are waiting for this, preparing, and I think in April, May we start to go to Germany.
Especially if this is a startup based in the Baltic countries. Everybody expects you to develop the MVP as something for local market and then expand to global scale. Yeah. Do you feel this pressure on you from your investors or your team and so on? Let's go global. Let's hit the unicorn status as soon as possible. Our neighbors are already unicorns. What are we doing here? Do you feel this pressure? The Baltic, the European Silicon Valley.
No pressure. But maybe they believe that we will become unicorns. So why they should press us,
Okay. Understanding of a fact that will come cannot be a pressure. I understand. Okay.
Thank you.
Now, finalizing on this round 1, which is usually the biggest, and like more, like we will dive into product and solution and business. What do you think is the biggest 1 or 2 challenges for you as a CEO, co-founder? As a co-founder, right? To take the company to the next level. What's the biggest challenge? Money, or more product related?
No, I think it's investment.
Okay.
I think because, you know, if you are a startup, you are raising not in rounds, but basically you are raising every day. So you are thinking how you will do the next round, and the next round comes, and you are starting to think how the next round will be. So it's, I think it takes a lot of time, and my personal time. I mean, my working time and personal time. You know, getting in touch with investors and pitching and so on.
Yeah, okay. Funding we'll cover later on by end of this podcast. Let's move on to round two. Round two, we discuss and cover the competitive landscape. Just as you said, it's not a blue ocean. Lots of companies work on this, and it seems to me that the entry barrier is not that high. Companies like PlaceApp, NoticeCV, Midfrank, Tim Taylor, and similar. Even in your region where you are based, right? Like Swedish Tim Taylor with 16 million euro funding or similar, they are like pretty advanced and already established in those like specific markets, including PlaceApp for London. Like, let's not take one of them. Like, compare yourself to them as a group. Okay, where do you think might lie your competitive edge?
Yeah, first of all, as I mentioned, localization, because those whom you mentioned, they are English language, not going to local languages. And the second thing, Tim Taylor is they are not doing attraction; they are ATS, so they are accepting CVs. They are still CV based, you know, not no CV based thing. And Midfrank is going up to the high positions, competing with LinkedIn, which is kind of, you know, very tough competition, I guess, for them, you know, and competing with agencies in IT verticals. We are going mid and low positions, so we are kind of we have found our niche in this, you know, all the pie. So I'm very much optimistic that with this set of, you know, small things, we can go forward.
Yeah, but also I understand this is what's called usually mass recruitment, right? And there's many repetitive hiring processes. And by the way, I didn't ask you about the sectors, most promising or most active sectors right now. So you mentioned IT, but what else? Construction, I understand. What else? Hospitality,
customer support, support centers, and
shared services centers, right? BPO.
Logistics, retail, because, for example, in the retail, they have almost 50% turnover a year, meaning cashiers and all those simple positions, they're changing 50% per year. So it's a lot of movement, and they need fast solution. They need really fast solution, simple and fast. Yeah. And if you go up to top positions, then the different story. You have a different testing, assessment, and not at all big turnover of those positions. So we're not going there. We are going middle.
Okay, cool. Okay. So in a way, it's kind of a, let's say, attack or competing solution to the companies that are mass recruitment based, have mass recruitment based business models, like, you know, let's call them Manpower and similar, right? Those big businesses that are working at
but they are still CV based. So on the candidate side, they are still using this old school methodology to write a CV, or you know, it's not what we're looking for. We're no CV. Yeah.
No CV. Why? Because you want candidates to provide only the information relevant for the employer for this specific role and nothing more, right?
And to make for the candidate simple to apply, simple. Not writing a CV, not sending the PDF somewhere, not knowing and you know, it's changing the process, not improving, but changing. It's a new,
like a new paradigm, right? Rather than spending time, money, effort on creating the best picture even of yourself, you just go ahead and provide the merit. It's like merit based, not aesthetics based kind of application.
You know, there are a lot of solutions, automatic reading of the CVs and picking up the keywords. So this is the improvement, but we're not going this way. We're changing it. I mean, to different paradigm, as you said.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Interesting. And Gediminas, let's move on to round 3. This is a little bit off the topic, but anyway, it's usually interesting takeaways. So quick Q&A, and you're a busy co-founder, definitely. What are your productivity hacks you could share? And again, not the tools, but the way you do things. Yeah.
Well, I like to do things fast. This is one thing, and the other thing, I do sports. I mean, you need to reset yourself, because in this, startup life, your head is exploding. So I do running, and it helps. So this is a mixture. You need to find the balance. Otherwise, you will be burned in maybe 4 or 6 months after kickoff if you do all that 24/7 type task. You will have burnout. So you need to balance. And in my case, it's a running, of course, family, Netflix, and kind of friends.
Okay, what would you recommend from Netflix that you recently watched, by the way?
I like documentaries in particular, because I like real things, and I'm watching now the documentary about the Boeing Max incidents, and how big corporations struggled with the systematic failures, and this is Downfall. It's called Downfall series.
Downfall. You mean Boeing 737 Max crashes,
Yeah.
right? All those cases. Yeah. Okay. Oh wow, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so
thanks.
it's very, it's very interesting, and you're getting deep in those, analytical things and details, and how they investigated all that. So it's recommended.
Really going into detail. Okay. Let's move on. Gediminas, round 4, company. So just to say, this is a very young business baby, founded November 2020. Founder and CEO yourself, Gediminas Vilčiauskas. Then also you have a co-founder, Mark Pikas, Arthur Barzejian, right? Help me, Barzejian. And then how many people you are right now? 18, 20, I guess?
15.
15, okay. And these are, what's the division between purely technical and client-facing roles? How many people are client-facing?
I would say we are marketing and sales type of company, because I used to have my own business. I understand that everything is starting from sales. Sooner or later, if you have no sales, it's bad. In startup, maybe not that fast, but our logic is to be very good at sales and marketing, and we outsource all IT, of course, financial services, and so on. So basically, focusing product ownership, of course, it's inside, but all the other stuff is outsourced. So.
Interesting. So you are tech talent light, should I say, right? Whenever you have a feature or something that is approved internally, you go to your tech service providers and iterate it. Okay. And by the way, what advice would you give other startups while choosing a software house or tech partner that is not part of the company? It's not easy, right?
I think it's reliability, first of all, flexibility, because you have to, you pivoting with your product, you're receiving the feedback, and you need to be very fast in changing it, adapting to market. So yeah, you need flexibility, speed, and reliability. So it's probably should be a big software house, and a reliable one.
Okay, so in your case, did you go into the market and do a beauty contest, or you just based your decision on some recommendation?
No, I was just having a good practice, good experience with that company before, and I just old network, old friendships,
Yeah, and before at the very beginning of your relationship, was it recommendation based, or you just made a contest of proposals
It was. I think it was back in 2010 when we started to work on a very different project with that company, and it was the contest. The first selection was a contest, but we maintained the relationship till now, so it was kind of easy to choose. But still, we made a contest for no CE development, and I would say that the winning factor was the personal trust in the managers.
Yeah, of course. Interesting. I mean, you had some dose of comfort, definitely, starting a new company, having already a kind of pre-selected and time-tested partner on the tech side, and that's a privilege, of course. I mean, that's a benefit, definitely. Otherwise, it's a pretty big
even
risk.
though our solution looks simple for the user, but it's quite complicated because we are two-sided platform. We have the app and we have the platform and we have the backend. All that three parts, they are connected. And if you develop a new version, you basically have to develop 3 new versions. It's app version, it's front-end version, and back-end version. So it's pretty tough development.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, come on, many startups or ideas or projects and apps look simple at the front end and basically require lots of effort and time and implementation and reiteration and all of this on the back end. Take, classical example of Google search, page. Yeah, Gediminas, thanks a lot. Let's move on to last round for this podcast, and this is round 5, Formula F3, as we call this, funding for the future. And before we go to the future or cover the future, by now you mentioned the total committed funding for the company development and growth is around 700k euros, and this is a mixture of pre-seed, seed kind of rounds. You don't pay too much attention to the names of the rounds, I understand. Anyways, your investor teams by now is what? Latvian Business Angel Network, 70 Venture.
Lithuanian Business Angel Network. This is very important that the majority of our angels are coming from Lithuanian Business Angel Network. And it's because they have very good management. The network has very good active managing director, Justinas Pašys. And he helped me a lot to build all 3 rounds. But Latvians joined at the last round, and we have 2 Estonian angels as well. So it's pretty much Baltic angel based plus 70 ventures.
Baltic angels on a cap table is already a sign of high quality and big promise. Again, giving compliments to tech landscape in the Baltics, but we cannot avoid this. This is true, right? Okay. What about the next round? When, how much, and how would you spend it?
Yeah, we plan to start building it in the mid of this year, but start building means that we start, the pitching and so on. So basically, I estimate that it can happen at the end of this year or beginning of the next year, and we are thinking to raise it for the really entry and being present in big markets like Germany. So this is the idea. This is very preliminary at the moment, but still it's the plan.
Last question.
Yeah, please.
Do you have your own exit scenario now? Which one?
We hear this question very often, but it's too early to we can improvise, of course, but it's too early for that. So we are just 1 year old and thinking, about exit. It's too early, but actually some ideas, some thoughts, of course, I can share. Is that, of course, as a SaaS platform, we probably think about a strategic investor from big SaaS category, from SAP or Oracle or Microsoft, whatever, because they have ERP modules already, and the HR is ERP solution, or it could be some strategic investment from big portals worldwide, the biggest portals worldwide, like job boards and so on. And if we are really dreaming about flying to the Mars, LinkedIn, why not LinkedIn as a strategic investor? So, because they are in up positions and we are in low positions, so it's logical.
Yeah. It's like expanding the pie for them actually, and also giving your candidates on your platform maybe a chance to sometime in future to grow.
Yeah, we can dream that there is a space for LinkedIn for a blue collar. It's not so social based platform, but still it's simple platform, and still it can be some social things in our roadmap. We are thinking, to socialize those simple position people, to getting them socialized in between. But it's a secret.
Yeah. Okay, so LinkedIn or Microsoft, because when we say LinkedIn, we have in mind Microsoft, of course. Gediminas, thanks a lot. I think we've covered lots of interesting stuff. We'll be following your successes on ITKeyMedia, ITKey.media, of course, and do share with us your successes. Thanks a lot. No CV, guys. Simple on the surface, but of course requiring lots of work back end. And we wish you all the best. Good luck, Gediminas. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alex. Thank you.